Banks never heard of him. He never owned it. It's never been foreclosed. It just didn't exist. He's never been there. I suspect he couldn't find Atlanta, Georgia with a map, a flashlight, in a week.
What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to Grim. Today we have another insane catfishing story where this old person has been taken advantage of and she has lost $100,000 to this scammer who she thinks is going to be moving in with her, giving her a giant inheritance. You know the story already. Pretty much everyone on Dr. Phil's show falls for the same routine, but this one is exceptionally bad because obviously you just heard she spent her life savings trying to help this scammer come back to America. So without further ado, let's just meet this woman and her family and see what's been going on with this guy that she's been trying to date for so long.
You know, you can get from Nigeria to the US for a couple $1,000, but Sammy Lee hasn't been able to do that. And he's given you a lot of reasons, right?
And yeah, like I said, this is the classic story. This person just wants to come back or wants to visit their honey boo that they miss so much, and they can't wait to meet them. But for some reason, when this lady has given this scammer $100,000, he still cannot make his way over to America. And I don't know where you could possibly be on the earth besides maybe Antarctica, where it would be that expensive to come back home. Like, you maybe would have to just hit up a private helicopter driver and be like, dude, I'll pay you 100 stacks. Come pick me up. I'm in the Arctic Circle. But seriously, dude, you gotta know that this is a scam. Unfortunately, this lady is old, and I really do think the more I watch these cases that we should almost have a thing like driving. Well, we don't really have a thing like this for driving, but we should, where, you know, you're young, you're obviously not mature enough to be driving or using the internet, so you have to be instructed on how to do so to avoid common pitfalls that could get you in trouble or hurt. And I think, you know, when people are older, their cognitive ability declines, and we should really be assessing people's ability to connect to the internet, or at least, you know, give them more classes as they get older to kind of keep in touch with how things are going and how scams work, because a lot of them are just oblivious and think, oh, this person loves me, they would never try to take money from me, but that's all they're doing. Yo, really quick, you guys, there's a large chunk of you that watch my videos that aren't subscribed, which is kind of whack if you ask me, but make sure if you're enjoying the videos, please scroll down and hit that subscribe button. It helps me out so much, as well as like the video so that more people can see it. But without further ado, we'll get back into the video.
He doesn't talk to you because he can't video chat because they need 3G and it's just not available in Nigeria. Well, we know that's not true.
So first of all, that's a lie. They have 3G in this area where he says he's at. Dr. Phil even says so, but this whole timeline of what his story is makes no sense. He works for an oil company, and that's why he's over in Nigeria, and he needs to get back from Nigeria to America to be with his, you know, new woman who has given him all this money, her entire life savings. But he can't video chat, which is like red flag number one. Anytime that's happened on Catfish, you gotta know that that person is not who they say they are, not the person in their pictures. He claims he dropped and broke his phone, is saving money for the oil business, and that's of course what he's using the money that she sends him for. He's putting that back into the business so that they can make millions, he claims. It's just such a stupid routine that they follow, and it really makes me sad that people are still able to fall for this junk.
He said that he needs money because his feet hurt and he needs boots.
Yes.
And here's the other thing, this guy's money just doesn't make any sense. Obviously, he's got to be rich if you take into account how much she has sent him over the years. It's been a couple years that she's been talking to him, I believe. But he claims he doesn't even have money for boots, and his feet hurt so bad that he needs money. He also had to sell all of his oil drilling equipment because, you know, he just didn't have enough money. I have no idea how much that would go for, but it sounds like that would be quite the come up, and you'd be able to buy a pair of freaking shoes or maybe some food. But then he claims that he got detained by tax people and can't talk to her, and he's in some super bad jail, and this is where it gets terrible. The final part of his lie is that he is stuck in jail and critically ill, and she's been talking to a associate of his who obviously is just the same scammer, you know, trying a different angle now, but that's really how they're milking her. She's thinking that her lover is on his deathbed, you know, over in some foreign country where he's not being treated well and being held because he didn't pay his taxes, but instead it's probably just some random scammer that is literally milking this woman for all of her money.
You know, I was really angry about that he gave supposedly all the money to the tax people. I told him, why didn't you keep some money for food?
And it's unfortunate. I mean, the longer Dr. Phil goes on, the more this woman tries to bargain with herself and claim that it's still real, and these are just all weird anomalies that we need to overlook. No, you're the one that's jumping through mental hula hoops just to get to this conclusion. I mean, clearly anyone who looks at this from an outsider's perspective can tell that you're getting swindled. But yeah, he claims when he got swept up by these Nigerian tax people that they took all of the money that he sent her, and that's why he needs more for food. Instead, this scammer went out and bought a Rolex and maybe a Mercedes-Benz, and he's like, more, come on, you got more, please.
If he's being detained by the tax people and he can't talk.
And they used Mr. Dent's phone.
In detention, you're not allowed to bring in phones. You do know that.
Yeah, I know, but I just choose to overlook it because I want to be in love. That's the sad truth for all of this. This lady is just like the last guy, extremely lonely and old, and that's a scary combination of feelings to be feeling. And of course, you're going to want to find that connection with someone, and that's why they really go for these types of victims. Unfortunately, this probably is the most profitable way to be scamming people, you know, just going for the old and uninitiated on the internet. It's just disgusting that people can do this to another human being, but it also is sad that this lady is so clueless or just so unaware of what's going on around her that she can't come to this conclusion herself. The daughter literally has to be spelling it out to her, like, obviously this guy can't be talking to you if he's critically ill in jail. You got to be thinking through this stuff as it's going.
Do you think someone like that that really loved you would even allow you to give them money?
And that's another angle you got to think about. If this person truly loved you and you were explaining to them like, okay, this couple thousand I'm sending to you is the last money that I have in my account or for my retirement, do you think that person would really accept that money if they truly loved you? No, this is clearly a one-way relationship. She's thinking that she's getting love, but it's all fake. She doesn't even know the person, and instead she's giving them all her money. And you know the weirdest thing about this, and kind of what's really genius? They use this guy's pictures, who looks totally normal. He's just a normal older guy, and we're actually about to meet him. Dr. Phil tracks down the man whose pictures got stolen, and we're gonna hear his side of the story. Obviously, he claims he's innocent, but it really is genius because they're not using some young model. I know people would still fall for that, but it really does add that bit of realism when the person talking to you seems like someone who's the same old age and might just be another lonely person across the globe who needs help, and that's why they're able to reel her in and make her believe all these crazy falsehoods.
This is the man that you have been told is Sammy Lee Strong.
So the guy whose pictures they were using lives in Lebanon, and he claims that he is just completely disconnected from this. He's a victim as well. He says that people have been using his pictures for some time, which is just crazy to think about, that your life can be completely destroyed by these people who find your pictures on Facebook or whatever and use you as the basis for scams where people are losing their entire life savings. That is a pretty dangerous business right there to even be involved in. So I feel kind of bad for this guy, to be completely honest.
It's just sad. Now, see, I fell in love with this man. He has a wife and a family.
And I really do feel bad when the, final moment of realization hits these people and they're finally able to realize that everything that they believed was a lie and that you fell in love with someone that truly just does not exist. That has to be a crushing realization, especially when she has given so much and lost so much. It's just disgusting, and I really do feel bad for this woman. Let's keep it moving though.
I'm also same you, Anna. I am innocent, same you. Please forgive me, and because my picture, they make problem for you.
And clearly the guy feels, kind of bad about it. Obviously, he can't be super involved because he's never met this woman either. And you can't just be like, all right, I'll give you back your $100,000. I don't know what else he can do besides, profusely just apologize. But really, I mean, this has to be the final piece for this woman. Hopefully she blocks the number or whatever she talks to this, scammer through and tries to get her money back. But obviously that's not going to really be possible. But moving on, she won't lose any more, hopefully. And many other people will have their eyes open to this. You'd think with how many old people were probably watching Dr. Phil on TV every day, there's millions of viewers out there, that they would see this and realize that, oh, this is the exact thing that's happening to me. Maybe I'm getting scammed. But no, it seems like every week Dr. Phil has a new guest on here that has fallen victim to the same thing. Yo, chiming in here real quick, I'm actually in the editing phase, so sorry if the mic sounds any different, but I just had an insane revelation. I edit these videos pretty quickly as Dr. Phil is uploading, and he actually uploaded a new part while I was editing this video where there has just been a wild new addition to the story, and I feel bad leaving you guys on edge like this, but I am going to turn it into a second part of this video because it turns out this man might not be as innocent as we were all led to believe, which is absolutely mind-blowing. So big F in chat for this grandma for now. I'm gonna bring back my original outro so that we go back, to normal video. But yeah, I'm sorry about that. Tomorrow you guys are gonna see part 2. Let's get it. But yeah, like I said, you guys, obviously this lady has been talking to a complete scammer. This guy's pictures are being used without his permission, he claims, and it's instead someone just way over in Nigeria taking her entire life savings. So I'm glad that her son thought to write into the show and got this exposed so that she doesn't lose another cent, and I hope that not another old person falls for this. But sadly, thousands do every single day and are actively talking to these scammers. So make sure if you guys have any single grandparents out there, you're checking in on them and making sure they're not falling victim to this as well. But that about does it for today's video. I'm glad Dr. Phil was able to clear that up for this woman. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then, peace out.